Hello all, and welcome to the pre-match predictor for Week 3 of the 2025-26 Premier League season. Last week, I again went 5 for 10 with my predictions. I almost had 6 for 10, but what can you do when a 16-year-old scores his first Premier League goal in injury time to win the game? This week, I'm going to try something a little bit different by adding the predicted score and why I think this will happen. So to start off with our first game, we have Chelsea versus Fulham. I think that Chelsea will beat Fulham 2-1. Chelsea have been dominant lately, except against Palace, and Fulham have not been too much of an attacking threat so far. Next, you have Man United and Burnley. I think that United will beat Burnley 2-1. I think United will finally start to put away some chances that they create, but will still give up at least one goal due to the shakiness of their defense, especially with Burnley coming off a huge win. Next is Sunderland versus Brentford, and I think this game will end in a 1-1 draw. Sunderland has been alright so far, and Brentford are fielding a weakened team due to their summer departures, although they did beat Aston Villa last weekend. I think this will be a pretty even matchup. Next is Spurs versus Bournemouth. I think this game will end in a 2-2 draw. Spurs have been dominant as of lately, while Bournemouth have also played pretty decently, but I think Bournemouth will be the team to end Tottenham's winning run. Next is Wolves versus Everton, and I think this game will end in a 1-1 draw. Wolves have not been amazing so far this season, and I think they are one of the teams to be relegated this season, especially with the losses of Aiton Nori and Cunha. Everton have been a bit defensively shaky, especially versus Brighton, although Pickford did have a good game. I think this will be enough for Wolves to pull off the draw against Everton. Next is Leeds versus Newcastle United. I think that Newcastle will win 3-0 against Leeds. Leeds was not great against Arsenal, although they are the newly promoted team against the last year's runners-up. And although Newcastle does not have Isak playing, I think they will be able to be fine attacking-wise, especially after what they did to Liverpool with 10 men. This is followed by Brighton versus Man City, and I think that Man City will win 3-0 against Brighton. Brighton has had a slow start to the season. I think City will bounce back from their loss against Spurs this previous weekend. Next is Forest versus West Ham, and I think that Forest will beat West Ham 2-0. West Ham have looked awful defensively this season, especially in their last game against Chelsea. I think Forest will exploit that. Forest should have beaten Palace this past weekend with the chances they created, especially going off of Jesus' shot off the post. But I think they will come away the winners this weekend. Next is Liverpool versus Arsenal. I think Liverpool will win 3-1. Arsenal was dominant against Leeds, but struggled in their first game against United, although they did pull off the win. I don't think that Arsenal will show up for the occasion, and that Liverpool are on a whole different level, and I think they will come away the better team. Finally is Villa versus Palace. I think that Palace will beat Villa 2-1. Villa have had a slow start to the season, and I think this will continue into this game, especially against a Palace side that have been playing decent as of late. I think that Palace's front line will be able to expose Villa's back line and be able to pull off the win. I do place a bet on these predictions, and if all these predictions win, I will give one random subscriber or follower from one of the different platforms 10% of my winnings. Hopefully I can improve on last week's results and get at least 6 or more correct. Thank you for watching.